Hello, Time Prophet. Hello, Lord Thoth. Hello, Dega. Hello. Who else we got here? Captain Shrek. Everybody who's in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all, you guys. And some of you guys who are staying silent in the chat. Welcome. We have a great lineup tonight. We have two great talents from our community. You guys both know Drew and Kai from our greater nerd community. And hello, Latino Slant. Welcome. We are going to be introducing these guys in a second. Let's see. So we have amazing talent tonight, and we have a couple of great guest panelists as well, which I'm going to introduce first. And one of our guest panelists, who I'm going to start introducing, is our friend. He is an actor. He has been on The Orville. He has been on several different series. He is usually in the background, but I have a feeling real soon we're going to see him. We're going to see him as the star of something real soon. I want to get everybody give a nice warm welcome to Philip. Hey, Philip, how you doing, my man?
Hey, how's it going? Hello, everyone. Doing great. How about you?
Good to see you, Philip. Thank you for joining us. It's been a while.
Yep, it's been a while.
I mean, we crossed paths in chat rooms and stuff, but it's been a while since we've been on the panel together.
Yep, it's been a while. I've been working on things like independent films. So,
do you want to tell us? You want to tell us what you're working on right now, real quick?
Right now, I'm working on a small, low-budget independent film being shot in San Diego, California. It's called Sellout, and I have a small role in that, and we're in pre-production right now.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah, playing a police officer. I usually play like intimidating or bad guy or cop roles. So that's it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you play Philip. You play a good, intimidating law enforcement role. We've seen a lot of pictures of you. We've seen you as an FBI. We've seen you as as a cop. We've seen you. What other law enforcement have you played?
DEA agent.
Right.
All sorts of things. But yeah, people that are fans of the Orville watch Majority Rule. I'm in the crowd there on Sargas 4.
Yeah, I can't watch that episode now without seeing Philip. And hopefully we're going to see you in a lot more. And hopefully we'll see season 3 get off the ground pretty soon.
I hope so.
And you haven't heard anything, right? Through your grapevines? They're still not filming, right?
Not that I know of. Yeah, I heard they're not filming yet, but I don't know if I find out. I don't know if I can say anything or not.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
Okay.
So I probably shouldn't even ask you. Yeah. I want to introduce somebody who is always just a great addition to any panel. And we had a lot of fun with him last night with producer Joe Malazzi. I want to introduce Dega Outlaw, Dr. Dega Outlaw, and science fiction author. Hello, Dega.
Hello. No camera today. Sorry.
No camera. And your logo with the Dega on it is looking pretty cool, I must say.
Ah, that's actually an underexposed X-ray.
Really?
And then I elongated it. Yeah.
Wow. So that's your actual hand?
That's not my hand. It's a girl that used to work at the office. I unofficially adopted her as my only daughter. That's her hand.
That's cool. Wow. Very cool, Dega. Wow. And I'm going to introduce another member of our community. He's always in our chats. Hello, welcome, Lord Thoth.
Hello there. What an honor it is to be on your show. I'm quite impressed with guys like Philip and Adega. Thank you very much for the invite.
Yeah, the
No,
honor
you're
is
the man. You already
Yeah.
know how I feel about you, buddy.
Thanks, man. I feel the same way. It's appreciated big time.
ours. Thank you for joining us.
Awesome.
All right, so now we want to invite our two guest stars, and I want to first invite Drew, who is the creator of the Captain Love comic series and a lot more. But that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. But we're gonna see what else he's up to. And I want to welcome, hello, Mr. E. Welcome, Drew.
Hey, it is fun and fantastic to be here, man.
It's a pleasure to have you. We had you on once before, and we were talking about Captain Love, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And want to see where
that
you're
was
at.
during the first campaign, right? The first book. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a while ago.
Yeah. Is this now what? This is the second campaign now?
This is the third campaign. It is for chapter 2 of the second book. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I can explain all that in a real simple way. It's like if you follow comics by the issue, right? I do my chapters in issue format. So roughly 24 page to 36 page chapters, it's somewhere in there, depending on how much story I want to squeeze in it. And then after the 6 chapters, that's usually where a story arc ends on purpose. So I can put them into a graphic novel that roughly is 144 to 160 pages. So.
Wow. All right. Wow. Okay. And we want to delve into Drew's, and we're going to be seeing a lot of graphics from Drew in a little bit. Then let's bring in our final member of the panel. And he is the creator, and he surprised the hell out of me when he told me about this because I didn't know he was up to this. I mean, he mentioned it briefly at one point, but I didn't realize he was close to publishing. So I want to welcome everybody. Welcome. We'll give a nice warm welcome to Kai. Kai makes fun stuff. Hello, Kai.
Hey, how you doing, PJ? Hey, everybody.
Hey, Kai.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, it's an honor to have all this talent on. Listen, I gotta say the whole panel is pretty freaking talented. And our two guests are particularly talented tonight.
Thank you.
So let's start off with Kai. Kai, what is how long have you been in waiting to publish your book? How long have you been working on it? What inspired you to do this in your life? Is it something you've always wanted to do?
No, it is not something I always wanted to do. I actually grew up drawing my whole life, and growing up, everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna be an artist. Like he's gonna work for Disney someday, and etc." Because they were the big time. And I went into video games, and I turned out to be a natural animator. But around 2008, things got a little hairy. A lot of studios shut down. There was less animation work. I still did animation. I started moving into game design. But the idea kind of stemmed from a game that I used to own and operate for years. And the community there was a lot of fun, and we still keep in touch, a lot of us. But that game was it was a very, very rudimentary, basic game. I expanded, I created a whole universe around this tiny little thing. But, or at least that was the inception of it. And I started working on it in 2012, and I was not a writer. Like everything I'd done was design, technical writing, etc. But so I had to learn how to write, and from scratch. I was like, well, if I'm going to write a book, now I have to figure out how to write. So I learned how to write fiction, which isn't easy. So the first few years was more me learning, hey, Time Prophet. And then the next few years was me refining, editing, and trying to figure out publishing. I've been 2 years away from publishing for 4 years, So that's the journey there. It was something that kind of took me over, so I had to do it.
Okay, now just to be clear, you guys are both putting out actual product now, right? Yeah. Kai and Drew?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got one right here, actually. Hold on.
I love that marketing scheme he has there. He's got his book and everything up there in the corner. He's got available now. Self-promotion, that's the important thing.
Oh hell yeah! It saves me from saying it. I could just have it in the background.
It is great green screen idea, yeah.
Yeah.
So when
Wow,
is it
hold
available?
that up,
Oh,
Kai.
now.
It was the wrong one.
Oh, it's the wrong one?
Yeah, it was the proof copy. There we
Okay.
go. This one doesn't have a big stripe across the middle that says not for resale. See, but the green screen kind of messes it up. I gotta hold it at an angle for it to be visible.
Wow.
But yeah,
It seems to be quite a read, huh?
it's almost 600 pages.
Wow.
That's thick.
That's what
Wow.
she said.
Yeah, it's I've gotten some comments about the size of my book, and they never sound appropriate.
And I'm going to go ahead and read the description of the book. A being from beyond our universe arrives on Earth and interrupts events already in motion, rearranging the unseen threads that weave human lives together. Mike, a spacefaring pirate on a rescue mission, encounters the alien being and a pair of displaced teenagers, Natalie and Will. In a galaxy reeling from the wounds of a recent war, the incident sets his crew on a collision course with a tenacious and unsavory special agent kept in check only by an idealistic officer from the Ministry of Science. Cool. And it says here, a crew on a rescue mission, a strike team hunting them down, a pirate clan on a rampage. Their actions will change the world. What future will they bring? Wow, very exciting. What is it? So, if you had to, from an author's point of view, what if you had to describe what the book is about? I mean, I probably just read what you're going to say, but do you want to just go a little deeper?
Sure. Some of the things that you see early on in the book, it kind of does the world building along the way. I tried to absolutely avoid info dumps or anything like that. I try to keep it engaging and on track. So things that I wanted to explore more, I'll just explore more in another book. This one is big enough as it is. But we see things like, well, so I got to thinking about the trajectory of our future and how long technology takes to develop and then to adopt and then to proliferate in the market. And then what are the things that we're dealing with geologically and all that stuff. So I created a timeline for everything. And in my world on Earth, people are branded according to their genetic potential. So we have alphas, betas, gammas, down to, I think there's like 4 or 5 different ranks. But we start off with a couple gammas, so they're like mid-tier, they're average. But you get to hear about how the world got to this point, and it hasn't been at this point for very long, where people are actually branded and they are allowed and not allowed to do things. And the jobs that they can have are restricted based on their brand. And so it gets into freedom and human potential and a lot of little things like that. Ultimately, it's about the value of life, of a single human life, what one person, how much one life can change the world. And we're seeing it from a worm's eye view, but we start off from the outside with the alien and then we come into this world. And so I'm hoping that it gives us, gives the reader a big bird's eye view perspective of everything. But it really is.
So you're beginning with the alien's point of view. You're beginning the book.
Yeah, the prologue is from his point of view.
Okay, cool.
And then the first chapter starts us with people, and it goes from there.
Can you say anything about the alien? Are these humanoids? Or are they something else?
He's from outside of the universe, so like he's not from another universe. He's just from outside the universe, and his people take on the form of the species that they're studying, and so he takes on a human form, and then in some way ends up arriving on Earth and messing things up. And once he's there, he has to kind of go with the flow because he's too young to leave of his own volition. And so his goal is to grow while he's here enough to grow in like in inner way, not like grow, but his growth is going to be throughout the 6 books. Everything that he sees happen in this world, and this is the beginning of it. Yeah, it's not. I don't have green on it. It's blue and yellow. Blue and yellow makes green, so the camera doesn't.
Yeah, it looks okay.
Blue and yellow makes green. Isn't that the old Ziploc bag commercial? The little blue and yellow.
Oh, really? Yeah, because if I hold it straight on, it gets all green screeny on me. But if I right there where the light doesn't hit it, you can see it. Sorry, I was addressing a Dig or Time Prophet's comment there.
Yeah.
So-
do you want to tell us what what we're seeing on the cover?
It's that is the ship, one of the ships that we're following. The story follows 2 crews. This is the ship of the pirate crew, and the other ship is the crew that's hunting them down. But yeah, what I wanted was like a lot of space operas and sci-fi books. I saw that their covers were like a dude on the cover looking all badass with a gun and like a spaceship behind him, or like a big planet with a huge spaceship and then all this stuff going on and like really busy. And they're nice, they're great pieces of art, but it was very like in your face, and I wanted something a little calmer, something a little more reflective.
Who did the art for your
The
cover?
purpose of it.
Who did the art for your cover?
I did.
Outstanding. Well done.
Thank you.
Nice work. Yeah.
And
How did you do the art on a computer?
yeah, it's a digital painting. I did the stars, I did in Illustrator, and then I brought them into Photoshop because of the vector. Like it looked nicer like that, and I was able to accommodate it the way I wanted. But doing it in Photoshop would have been had a different effect. But then everything else, all the clouds and everything, is in Photoshop. The text is in Illustrator, and that one's custom too.
Sweet.
I do like the cover. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you. No. I was just saying I didn't want to pay for like this. I just made my text. That's all. Being cheap.
And I have an obvious question for you because you're bilingual. Will you be putting this out yourself in Spanish at any point?
Oh my God. That's
It's a lot of work, but
a lot. I barely got the English one out, man.
Yeah, that's probably what 140,000 words you would have to go through.
160.
Yep.
Just over 160,000.
wow.
Nice estimate though. Most people guess a lot lower.
No, I kind of learned the book trade.
Oh hey, you're on camera. Good to see you, man. Yeah, man. It's I have options for translating it. I have family who are fluent in English and Spanish, who I might be able to get the work done for cheaper. What is that sound? So I could get it done like for me, and then I could go over it and approve. I don't know about rewriting the whole thing in Spanish. That's, oh my God, I have other books to write. Like I have 5 more.
Yeah, getting somebody to translate it for you would be the most logical thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most efficient for sure.
I think Latino Slant is in the chat there. Maybe he'll do it for free.
No, it's too much work. I'm not letting anyone do that for free. That's too much.
Now, Kai, do you ever see this? Would you ever see any part of your project, any part of your series on the screen? Do you ever see that down the road?
Yeah, I could see it on like the silver screen, as a show. I don't think I think it's too much for a movie. But I think it'd make a decent show.
Okay,
The
wow.
budget wouldn't have to be too high either, I don't think. You can get away with a lot of practical sets.
Yeah, and I'm going to be adding, let's see, the screen you've been sharing. Now you have
I haven't shared it yet. I can.
Oh, you haven't shared it yet. Oh, that's right. You haven't
There
shared
you
it.
go.
Okay. Okay, so this is what are we going to be looking at? This is going to be
This is a map of the colonies. in my book. So Earth is in the middle there, and then all the white circles are the ones that. Oh wait, I should use my mouse. All these white circles are colonized planets, and then Wolf 359, Alpha Centauri, Tau Ceti, and Epsilon Eridani are all non-colonized. But we've been there. Pardon me.
Wow.
But yeah, so this was actually something I was doing while I was waiting for the copyright. I started working on. Hey, Jane. She was one of my beta readers, actually. I started working on for the next book. I need to figure out a lot of logistical stuff. Take care, Rennie. Thanks for stopping by. And thank you. I have a lot of logistics to figure out, and so instead of the way planets are mapped is according to their position relative to us. So we go, this planet is 2 hours west, 9 degrees north, and then this many light years away. And so that's how we locate all the planets. So there's no way to locate to determine how far away they are from each other besides doing the math on it. Or yeah, a lot of people love Farouk, actually. I'm really happy about that. But I lost my train of thought. Damn it, I need to stop reading.
About the localizing the planets.
Oh yeah. So I could either do the math on it or build it in 3D. So I built it in 3D, and then from the sphere that I made, Earth, I started placing all these planets wherever they are, and then I attached a measurement tool to each of them to determine how far away they are from one another. So now, when I start prepping for doing all the things I need to do for the next book, I've got a map to go on. I know how far away they are. I know how long it takes to get from place to place, and yeah, this is going to be very useful.
So Atlantis and Doria, those are the names of the colonies.
Yeah, once they were colonized, they were renamed for marketing purposes.
I have one question. Are these based on real planets and suns?
Yep.
At least Wolf 359 I know is a real sun.
Wolf 359, Alpha Centauri, Luton, Wolf 1061, HR 8832, Tau Ceti. Yep, so these are all legit. And then for orientation, here's the prime meridian. So if you look at their on Wikipedia, if you look at where they are, you can get an orientation. You can look at the numbers and then actually see here how far out and up. And so, yeah.
Several of those I looked at when I was doing my stuff. That's a very cool map.
Thank you. If you guys ever need a map with using real planets and stuff, go ahead and let me know, and I'll whip something up for you.
Oh wow, very cool. Very interesting. And I'm sorry, what was it? So what's the propulsion in your universe? What is the propulsion they're using?
Alcubierre warp drives.
Can you repeat that?
Alcubierre warp drives. So the Alcubierre warp drive that creates kind of a bubble in space-time and pushes and pulls the space in front or behind you. That became, over in my timeline, they accomplished that, and then they improved upon it. And so now the ships don't even need to have like the ring design. It's a network of nodes that generate this field. And so that allows me to have more flexibility with the ship designs, and also older ship designs are going to fit the current model of what the Alcubierre warp drive would require, which is like rings around a ship.
Wow. Now, have you done graphic representation of your universe to any extent?
What do you mean? Like aside from
have you been drawing your ships, for example?
Oh no. I designed the ship on the cover that you showed earlier. I do have a floor plan of that for every deck.
Okay, wow.
But I haven't like drawn it.
Gotcha. Okay, cool, very cool. Well, I've been wanting to because I've been abroad and traveling. I've been wanting to I want to get back to my home base before I ask for the book, before I order the book. I'm going to be putting up the link, by the way, for anybody who this is the Amazon link that I'm going to be putting up for Kai's book. Domino. Yeah. And do you want to talk about the? Sorry.
For anyone, sorry. For anyone in different regions, on my website kaimfs.com, I have the link to USA Amazon, and then underneath links to all the regions where it's available.
I was just going to say, because I have it already purchased in Amazon.ca, so I have that link.
Cool. Yeah, it's available in like 8 different regions or something like that. But yeah, I tried to make it convenient for anyone because I don't know how to do the localized button thing. So I just put links.
Can you talk a little bit about the title, Space Crime Domino?
Yeah, so Space Crime, because it focuses on crime, and it's going to be... It's I think it's funny that like partway through me writing this, there was a whole thing on like with Trump and the Daily Show with the space crime thing. They're like, oh, space crime, such a problem. I was like, hey, stop saying it. My book's not out yet. But yeah, so the theme of the book, it focuses heavily on crime. The opening sentence asks, what is crime? And that's something that I'm going to be examining from different perspectives throughout the 6 books. But then Domino is this one being the first one. The events of this book essentially set up the rest of everything that happens. So like dominoes falling, it's the beginning.
Cool. Now do you already have for example, the second book in the series? Do you already have that? Do you have the series mapped out pretty much?
I have it more or less mapped out, but the next 2 books I need to figure out. I know what I want to do with them. I need to figure out how I'm going to do it. And then once I have that done, then I know exactly what I'm going to be doing with everything from there forward. So at that point, once I have the next 2 books mapped out, I can block out the rest of the series. But I already know what each book is going to focus on and what each book is going to accomplish along the way.
And just to be clear, you're self-publishing, right, Kai?
Hmm?
Okay.
Yeah. Because like when I was looking at publishing with like a big publisher, they take a chunk of your money. They do pay for your editing, which is nice, but also I could pay for that myself, and I did. And they take away a lot of your creative control, so you can't like I wouldn't be able to pick my cover. They pick my cover. They have someone else make it. They approve, etc., etc. And I didn't want to hand over control of things that I can do myself just so that they can take money. So I said, no, I'll figure it out. Like, because they still require you to do your own marketing. And that's what I wanted them for, is the marketing. I don't know what I'm doing. And if they're not going to give me that, well, then I'm just going to go solo.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Any questions from another author's point of view, Adega?
Just for your next books, you have, if it was like most people, you already have point A and point B in mind, correct? You have which characters, or you already designed who's going to be in each book, or are you carrying on with the same group all the way through?
The same group will pop up throughout, and in the next book they're probably gonna split up and do different things. But the books are gonna grow the world a lot more. So in the next book, we're gonna see more life on Earth, more life in the colonies, and meet some of the pirates that we've met. Maybe expand on them a little more. But I'm kind of a discovery writer. Like I'm a plotter and a discovery writer. So I plot out what I'm going to do, and as I'm plotting, I'm figuring out things that I'm going to need, things that I'm going to want, and things that I need to go back and touch up. Like, oh, I need to go back here and add a note that I need to put this here so that I can do that there later. And then as I'm writing, I'm getting to know my characters. I'm getting to know things about the world.
And they start speaking to you.
Yeah, so it's like a combination of both. I know it's not the most common thing, but
actually it is really common to do it that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well then, What the
It's
hell?
not the only way, but I would
found the
say out
way.
of the people I've ran into, you're hitting about 80% of what everybody else does.
Oh, cool. All right.
So you're in
Yeah.
good company with them.
Thank you. Yeah, I had
Yeah.
no idea what I was doing at first. Like, I woke up one day, once I figured out the story the night before, like how I was going to start it, and I had the beginning, middle, and end, I was like, cool, I can go to sleep and relax because this has been on my mind all day. But then when I woke up, that's all I wanted to do was write. It was an overpowering urge, and I had a bunch of crap to do. And then once I got home that night, I sat in front of a blank screen going, well, what do I do now?
I heard
so-
you say this before. I'm going to dig in a little bit more. I heard you say this
Go for
before
it.
on another show, but there's people here that haven't heard. Where did the idea come from?
Well, it started off, I think I touched on this in the beginning with, it started off as a web game. And
Right, but
where we
there
had
you have the web game, and then you have your book and characters.
Well, the A to B there came from the question of when I was looking at this game, you have gangs of like hundreds of thousands of gangsters, and I was like, this is impossible. Like, this is so logistically wrong. But what kind of a world would be so full of crime? And then that's what led to me expanding the universe to be what it is.
Okay, one more question because I'm going to bug you some more.
Go for it.
This is other things that I hear from the author world. Individual characters. Do you write them off of your own personal inspiration? Do they match people that you've known in history? Is it kind of a conglomeration? Or are they written to fit the narrative?
In other words, are any of the characters based on Adega?
No. I hope not.
I did almost give somebody the round glasses like that. I did almost do that, but I didn't. What's it called? It's kind of all of those things. They're all written to accomplish what they need to be in the story. So I started off with, okay, I'm going to need, if a minimum crew is going to need this, and that, and these guys. Okay, so I wrote those down, and I wrote like a rough description of what they were, and then their personalities kind of match what I envisioned for that character and their backstory. And I draw inspiration from what I've seen, from in life. And then some characters like Addie, for example, she's my little tribute to Firefly, the show. And originally she was this little like orange-haired white girl, and her personality was really bubbly and sweet and a heart of gold, kitty.
Now.
I didn't have a name for her for a long time until I met this really sweet woman at Sears who worked there, and I asked her for help, and she says, I'm sorry, we don't have that, it's out of season, and yada yada. We ended up talking for like 20-30 minutes. She's a sweet short black woman, and so as I kept writing Addie, I was like, I'm going to name my character Addie after that sweet woman right there. And I did, because it was perfect. Her name means like light of, like something really positive. I don't remember anymore. But as I kept writing the book, it started to bother me that Addie was the way that she was. And then at one point I was like, okay, I'm going to go back through the whole book and make Addie black. And I just went back to the beginning and I changed her over because that's what felt right. Like her everything meshed for me at that point. And, but it didn't, for a long time it bothered me. So in some ways characters adapt to their name, or like Matt and James. Originally their names were reversed, but I kept writing them the way they are now. So I said, what the hell, I'm switching their names then. That's just easier. And like weird little things happen like that. But mostly everyone's written to fit the narrative of where they need to be, what they need to be in the story, and what their role is to the themes and stuff.
Let me ask Drew before we get into Drew's stuff. Now, Drew, are your characters very much inspired in people you've come across?
Yes.
In any way?
No. I mean, there's I inspired. No, yeah. sometimes there's like elements of a person that I will base on people that are in my real world. Sometimes there's elements of a person that are based on real people that are not in my world. Sometimes they're based on other fiction. The concepts that are introduced are based on other characters that I've read about and liked a lot. You know what I mean? So it's a broad mix. It's a broad mix.
Gotcha. And Kai, I wanted to ask you if your universe seems to be very Wild West swashbuckling. Is there a very unstable component to the universe?
Yes. World War IV, or as the colonies call it, Earth's War, was about 20 years before the story starts. And it was two factions fighting on Earth. The third faction was trying to stay out of it, and they were trying to still supply the colonies with stuff that they needed because they weren't quite self-sufficient. But they got dragged into the war, so that's the only faction that the colonies like. Businesses from that faction went untouched, but businesses from the other factions, their stuff in the colonies got totally taken over when the colonies withdrew, and they were like, yo, we're declaring independence. And so the colonies are all independent. During the war, they figured out how to supply each other with the things that they needed. And so Earth is united as a planet, but it's also by itself. Like all the other colonies, they have trade and stuff, but like it's kind of like us and them. Like all the colonies feel like they're a family, and then there's Earth over there. And so once you and Earth demilitarized also, so they're not really going to go out and conquer anything. So they just have like a security force. But yeah, so if you go out into the colonies where they had to where things got really hairy and dark during the war because of a lack of supplies, you get a little more of a rougher edge. It's not as pristine as Earth is. It's a little rougher, and there are pirates in the colonies, and a lot of these pirates are ex-military from World War IV. So,
wow,
yes,
I would love to see. I would love to see like somebody like George take a shot at bringing some of those graphically bringing some of those characters to life. I'm referring to George Peter Gatzis.
That didn't help me identify who you're talking about at all. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I mean he's.
I don't know you.
Several of us know who he is, so it makes sense to us. He did it to one of my characters.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea, honestly. I think that it might be a cool idea to have that kind of graphic representation to try to push your book. It's always great to have graphics for a marketing scheme, right? And because all the people who are going to be buying your book now are all the ones who know you. So you want to get that out there, and YouTube and going on all these shows is an awesome start. But yeah, that's a great idea, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, the marketing, because I think this is an amazing, intricate story. And just listening to, I'm already getting into it just from listening to you talk about it. And so I think it would be amazing to have some more, some marketing material there. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I do need to get some more art for it.
But another interesting thing that Adega has done too, I got to say, his read-throughs on his channel are very interesting. I don't know if you've seen what he does on his channel. Okay. Have you seen what he does?
I have not.
Do you want to briefly discuss that, Adega? I know.
Oh, you know what?
I've seen you in a few chats, panels and stuff, and I really liked it. I just never thought to actually go and follow you. So.
I don't. Thanks, PJ. I made it a couple of years ago, basically, so I can hear myself read my stuff and edit things. But now, when I've got a new chapter, I play it out, and people kind of caught on to it. So I had to learn to make better graphics, use my voice better. So it's basically a weekly play that goes on, and it's
really beautiful art.
It's not mine. It's, you know, and if someone has their name on it, I make sure that it shows up on the screen, you know, so they can get credit for their artwork. I don't want to rip anybody off. But the music is a friend of mine and my voice. But like what PJ was saying is maybe for marketing, you might want to pull a chapter out that may not be too integral to the whole story, or a few pages or something where you could represent somebody's personality. Read it the way you would want it to be heard or understood, and take your time with it. Do it over once again or twice, you know, maybe have one of your friends listen to it, look over it, apply some pictures and say, hey, here's a brief part of my book, like a little commercial. You know, it's helpful. And
Cool.
Dr. or Mr. E would know, especially with the Indiegogo stuff, these guys will all have commercials. You know, they'll show little bits and pieces of their work. Some of it's the artwork that's going into it, but a lot of it is explaining the story to hook people in. And that's something that people could share instead of just going to your site and listening to you. They can grab a piece and say, hey, you know what? This is the book. Grab that, listen to the guy. He explains it, and it spreads. It works.
All right. Thanks. I have some stuff that's not probably some short stories and history stuff that I used to have on the website, but I switched things around. I could even do those because then it'd be extra content that builds the world and explain some of this stuff before you even get into it. But yeah, thank you for the suggestion. That's a great idea. I've been so swamped lately just trying to like manage everything. Like I've barely even been posting on social media, which I should be doing every day since I have a book out.
Well, but I've seen just like Drew, you've been getting around. I see you everywhere.
Yeah, I've been all over the place lately. It's I need to be better at scheduling myself. I haven't had to until recently. So
Which I was going to ask, Drew, have you been on Michael Burnett's show?
Michael Burnett? No, I don't.
You need to look him up. He does comics. He does Comics Gate comics an awful lot. He's from Australia, so he does his show.
You mean Michael? You mean Michael Bancroft?
Is it Bancroft?
Yeah, Bancroft.
Oh, okay.
The Lucent? Yeah, I've been on the Lucent. Yeah, his channel. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Because I haven't seen you on that, but I like his show, and I know he gets a lot of publicity for.
Yeah, I got like 4 or 5 sales. His little Bancroft bump that he does. Yeah, I got.
Not bad for an hour worth of work.
No, it's not. It's helpful. You know, it's helpful. Obviously I'd love to get more sales, but I'm still relatively unknown, so I'm just pushing away. So.
Right.
Yeah, Drew. I was gonna play unless you have it in your minute 16 trailer from the. Do you have it in a way we can hear the audio or not, or do you want me to play it?
I'm set up to go. If you wanna share my screen, I have a couple of different things here.
Okay.
So.
Let's see. Is this the right one? Okay.
That's the cat cam. You want the shared screen?
Yeah.
That's an Indiegogo, isn't it, Drew? Is that
Yes,
the Indiegogo? Yeah, I've seen
Indiegogo.
that actually. It looks really good.
Thank you. So I have 2 videos that I want to share. Right. The first one's a little bit longer, but it's basic. So I'm gonna share it the other way around because the other one's longer. But let's do it this way because it's an earwig. This one explains what's going on from a different way, from basically the campaign pitch I don't want to spoil it. I want to surprise everybody. So here we go.
Hi, my name is Drew Ish, and I'm the author of the Captain Love series. I want to tell you all about the second book, Rise of the Pirate King. Yeah, that's a thing. And in this book, you're going to get everything that you would expect from Captain Love. Yeah, you bet. And I'm blessed enough to be able to use an amazing creative team. If you know what I mean, if it feels like the universe is caving in, you need love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. And love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. All right now. Now, Captain Love is a space trucker and a former war hero. There is even a legend that he may be immortal. He's accompanied by Spade, who's a living AI. Yes, I said immortal. As in, he cannot die. And it feels like the universe is caving in. And love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. And love to the rescue. Captain Love to the rescue. Oh yeah. In this book, you'll get space pirates, sexy girls and science monks. There'll be bar fights, space battles, and a lot of awesome junk. There's nudity and violence and swearing within, so this book is mature. That means it's not made for children. And you feel like the universe is caving in, and there'll be love to the rescue. And it seems like nothing will be right again. There'll be love to the rescue. Captain 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 Love to the rescue.
So that's
It's
yeah,
awesome for you, dude.
thank you. I like that. You know, it hasn't been done before. You know, a whole pitch and a song like that. So you know, so that's basically the approach there. You know, I Captain Love is, you know, basically at this point, you know, a major labor of love. You know, I haven't made a 1 penny for my pocket yet. I mean, I'm still paying down my investment on this thing. So it's really important that, you know, I can get people to continue to help me keep the thing going. Because, you know, I mean, as crazy as I am, I'll keep it going, even if it, like, you know, financially destroys me. But I hope I never get to that point. So, you know, so I really would appreciate it if you guys would back Captain Love. You know, I have 3 different campaigns. This one is the campaign for Chapter 2. The artwork that you just saw in that video is the artwork for Chapter 2. Before we dig further into the campaign, I did post this other video recently. It's actually a different spin on the marketing approach. But since we got a guy who was wondering about how to market his book more of a commercial style, this is a great method that he might appreciate this as well. So.
Greetings.
And who
My name
doesn't
is
love
Spade.
comics?
That stands for Synchronized Protocol Artificial Intelligence Delegate. And I am living software. I want to tell you about this amazing person I'm blessed enough to be companions with. His name is Love. Captain Love is a space trucker and a famous war hero. He once saved the solar system from a madman's reign. Some people believe him to be immortal. But if you were to ask him, he would say he just hasn't died yet. Captain Love regularly, and somewhat reluctantly, finds himself on wild adventures that could potentially change the course of the solar system. There always seems to be a friend of his in trouble, and some sinister person, evil organization, or jealous husband trying to kill him. Sometimes it's friends, or a woman's attention, that gets him in what seems like a tough situation. But regardless, I am always there with him. I look after him, and I know him better than anyone ever will. He is a really good man, no matter what anyone else says.
And you feel like the universe is giving, and there'll be love to the rescue.
Cool.
Yeah. And then I throw the earwig at people again. So
Yeah. And who is doing the voice, Drew? Because I've seen that.
the voiceover, that's my friend Sparkle. Sparkle Susan, she's an actress. She does voiceover work. She has her own talk show on YouTube and Facebook. We've been friends for a while, so it was really easy for me to hit her up to do the voiceover. So.
Wow. And I just subbed. I saw that, and I subbed to her channel last night.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I think the artwork looks great. Now, yeah, it seems like you've really come a long way since you started, man. Congratulations.
Well, what's crazy is my first campaign was about a year ago, right? For the first book, the Hero of the Cleansing, I think this book right here, that basically has was pretty good. The first campaign was really slow, but then after people got the book in their hands and started spreading the word, I probably doubled what I made on the campaign itself. After the campaign ended, you know what I mean? Not, when it went in demand, after the funding period, whatever you want to call it, was over. So I was really happy with that. Chapter 1 did really well. There was a tier on Chapter 1 where people could back the whole Rise of the Pirate King book. It means they could actually back all 6 chapters ahead of time and the final graphic novel. That tier was obviously removed before the Chapter 2 was launched because it's unfair to let people, because those people are backing from before, you know what I mean? They get everything. So it's like if somebody wanted to back now, it'd be unfair to give them all the stretch goals from Chapter 1, if you know what I mean, and so forth. So I just decided to make it fair and pull that feature off and let people, back it this way. And it has not been going as fast as I had hoped, but it is still moving. We're moving along. I'm in my first 30 days, so I can choose to extend it and and push the funding features that come with Indiegogo a little bit harder. But there's great options here. It's a great story and stuff. So
Drew, if I can interrupt you for a sec, I hear creators say that all the time, that it's not going the way as fast as they wanted to, but it's totally understandable because you're establishing a brand, and it's like, and Kai just put his brand out there right now, and so like this is a journey, and it's like just the fact that you guys are out there, you guys are already, there's so many people who would want to create content, and you guys are already champions just by doing it. And it's a journey that's gonna develop. Like I think your development has been actually really fast from my point of view.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it depends on what lens you're looking through. You know what I mean? Like I have a lot of friends that are also comic book creators that produce books on Indiegogo, and they're smoking me on their campaigns. You know what I mean? And it really comes down. I mean, seriously, when it comes down to campaigns and Indiegogo and the community and stuff like that, it really comes down to who you know. You know what I mean? Because it's really more of a cult of personality versus than your product. Which is important, and it's good because that's how you get it out there. But I can't count on that in my life. So I tend to, I know, I love that, by the way. I like that I can burn that into people's heads and it doesn't leave. I like, for instance, my business model was to make sure that I crowdfunded enough so I could print a lot of books, right? So everybody would get their book fulfilled, but then the books that weren't necessarily forced to fulfill, I was planning on doing, book signings and campaigns, but conventions and stuff like that. And then, of course, COVID just nuked that up for the beginning of the year. So luckily, I have, like, this coming Sunday, there's a very, very, very small convention up above Sacramento in Roseville. And then in December, there's LA Comic-Con. The actual huge LA Comic-Con is in December. I'm already booked for that. So I have my table ready and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully by then I'll be able to, start actually, making a bigger noise, collecting email addresses and making people more aware of Captain Love. My reach isn't very vast yet, so I have to push it. And then within the community, there's limitations. The like being a writer, you're not as popular as, like, say, an illustrator in the comic community. You know what I mean? Illustrators are always more popular because people can watch them draw, and stuff like that. And so there's just different nuances, you know what I mean? So it's like, as I get more popular, as the books get more popular, it's gonna have its own momentum. That much I know. I just got to keep it alive till it happens and make sure that I deliver high quality. There's downsides and upsides to everything, you know what I mean? So I don't want to sound like I'm negative because I'm not. I love this. You know what I mean? I love this. There's all kinds of glory in what's going on. I just it's just very painful right now. You know what I mean? I invested a fortune up front. I mean, a serious fortune. And before I did anything Indiegogo, I had already invested this fortune because I had promises from a guy who even signed, letter of intent, that he was going to invest in the money I needed to print a large bulk so that I could actually do distribution in the retail, right? In the LCSs and stuff. And that was going to work, but he didn't come through with the money that I needed, and I didn't have it because I already spent, what basically as much as I needed, I spent on the book itself. So it was just one of those things where now I'm trying to make at least the money I invested back so that I can start moving this thing forward in the green. Right now, it's kind of in the self-sustaining point. Like the money that I make on these campaigns pretty much pays for it to move forward. Barely.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get people to really buy into it. I need people to say, you know what? Drew sounds like a good guy. Captain Love is actually moving forward. We have 3 campaigns now that are successful campaigns. The first one, Captain Love, Hero of the Cleansing, is, you can get that, the original cover. You can get the first variant. And there's also the exclusive Vinnie Tartamella variant, which is extremely beautiful. And there's only 6 left of these available, and they're available on this campaign. So if you were to scroll down, or if I'm to scroll down here, you can see it right here on the campaign. There's only 6 left, 6 more. So of the 100 of these that were printed, and it will be the most exclusive book in the entire library of Captain Love stuff, because I only did 100 of this cover, right? I only did 200 of the original variant, and there's still 75 left of these. But that's only because I only sell those on the first campaign, right? So it's kind of like I try to make that very exclusive to the first campaign, which is still active. I still believe I haven't got a notice that it's shut down. So it's still active. So if you want an immediate fix on Captain Love, you can go to either the first Captain Love campaign, where the book is called The Hero of the Cleansing. It's a 72-page graphic novel. It's a beautiful thing. It's also referred to as Volume 1 for shorthand, you might say. And then on the Chapter 1 campaign, you can get Chapter 1 again shipped immediately. It's ready to go. It's here in my hand. I have it. It will ship immediately, bagged and boarded. And if you want to save a little bit of money and you haven't read anything, you can get all 3 of those together on Chapter 2. And then when Chapter 2 fulfills, you'll get all 3 books shipped to you at the same time. If you want more than just the books, I have some beautiful posters. I have T-shirts. I have a lot that can be here for you. So
you seem really organized, Drew. I like it.
I this is my 3rd campaign. I better have it down by now. So the Vinnie Tartamella, which is the same as the graphic novel cover image, with just a little bit layout difference. It's the same artwork though. It's a poster, 11 by 17. It comes in a rolled up in a protective tube, no folds. It is a glorious poster. And also it's important to remember when you look at these prices here. Right, all these prices. If you are inside the United States, there is not shipping additional. A lot of people hate Indiegogo because you check out and you get hit with a price on the way out. I don't do that. So if you are domestic, if you're in the United States, you will not get an extra shipping fee on any of these tiers. If you're out of the country, then I deduct what the U.S. shipping would be from your shipping costs, and then you just pay the difference. So,
okay.
Yeah, but so we have a lot of posters here. Beautiful. The cover artist Henry Ponciato did these 2 right here. These are, and nice. This one is one I really want to draw his attention to. This is probably my favorite piece of artwork that has come out of all of this so far. It's not even my main character. It's actually Love's best friend Jean, and they were they have a lot of history. If you read the books, you'll know immediately. But this is like the first, other than her trading card, this is the first time she's depicted by herself. And Henry Ponciato does the cover art for chapter 2. And when I discovered him and his take on the artwork, I've been just like, I've been trying to find things to make him do. He did 2 posters. I have him doing some promo art, all that kind of stuff. He really has the idea and the feel down for what I'm trying to accomplish. And I mean, it's just beautiful. So I had to stop and share that. And then this one's a little tongue in cheek fun. If you guys know who Peter Gilmore is, he did a little James Bond kind of feel to it, and even give it like a James Bondian name, From Venus with Love.
Is that he's looking kind of Sean Connery there?
Yeah, he even gave him a little Sean Connery lookish. Yeah, he yeah, that was his take. And then this one here, actually, I have a color version of this, but this one's by Pat Maxton, also known as Doodle Bags. And then the t-shirts are this is the cover art for chapter 2, a little bit manipulated, so it's not just a boring rectangle. And this one is basically with the earwig that you get, Love to the Rescue. So a little bit of everything for everybody. And it's there's no excuse why you can't come and get your love right now. Everybody needs more love in their life. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah. Hey, you guys are brothers in space pirate hood.
Yeah.
I didn't realize when we were putting the show together, you guys are both. Yeah, that's right. You guys are both space pirates.
I think space pirates are going to be the new rave pretty soon. Sci-fi is going to take over. It's going to start with space pirates.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could like take the claim for space pirates. I'm like, it's my idea, but space pirates have been around for a long time. I even like there's I don't know if you guys ever watched the old sci-fi movie Ice Pirates. You guys ever see that one? Yeah. Absolutely. That one kills me. I'm wait. I don't have a copy of it myself. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for it to come available on one of the sources that I have like a subscription to, so I can watch it again.
Isn't that the one with the space herpes?
Yes, it is.
I played the 2001 Canadian-German science fiction film. Okay.
No, I think it's an 80s one. It's the 80s version.
Ice Pirates. Ice Pirates.
Ice Pirates. Oh, I looked up Ice Planet. My bad. Ice Pirates movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's hilarious. It's a comedy, man. It is a straight up sci-fi comedy. And it's so fun. If you have not seen it, you need to watch it because it's fun. It is fun. And that's one of the things that
Tomatoes. Stupid Tomatoes. On Amazon, it's got 4.5, 4.6.
Yeah, well, I don't trust any of those fucking rating sources. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason why I don't trust those rating sources is because anything on the internet that has an open community can be bought. Right, because you can hire people to go and sign up as a profile and give you a score that you want. Amazon does that. You get a lot of 5-star ratings that way on Amazon. YouTube, they hire people. You can hire people to go and like and like actual people to go and do it. Every platform that has the ability to like, move up, any kind of thing, you can buy and game the platform. So I take very, very, very little weight to any of those kinds of things.
Oh yeah, I wasn't putting any stock into the Rotten Tomatoes thing, but I thought it was funny that Rotten Tomatoes gave it 1, and then on Amazon it's a 4.6. It's like the Amazon one probably comes from people, not like reviewers.
Well, Amazon's ratings usually you have to actually have bought it or rented it or watched it before you can rate it. They don't usually let you on Amazon. They don't let you rate something if you weren't an actual customer of it. I don't know about movies. I don't know if they do the same thing about movies, but I know products. You actually have to buy the product to be able to rate it. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And like, why would you go to Amazon to rate something that you didn't buy on Amazon?
Right. Yeah. They'd be like, oh well, how valuable is your rating if you actually don't have the product? Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like you're just trolling it at that point. So
absolutely. Now can you explain? Did you say you have more than one campaign going? Drew? Is that
Yeah, I actually I still have the first 2 campaigns open. So
okay?
if you were to go to like say here Indiegogo, you just click Indiegogo and go to Indiegogo, right?
Yeah.
You can easily just go to the search feature and type Captain Love, and you will get
Oh, it does say
3
3 campaigns. Yeah, it does say
Yes.
3 campaigns. I see
Right.
it now.
So there's chapter 2, there's the Hero of the Cleansing, which is the original book, and then there's chapter 1 here. So, and these 2 here, these are in demand, and that means that basically if you buy a book from either one of these campaigns, it will drop in the mail the next day and send to you while the campaign's open. Obviously, once I've had chapter 2 going, people have been buying less from this because they realize they can get both these books in the chapter 2 campaign, and they can save about $15 in shipping. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
a lot of people been doing that. However, some people aren't, they're like, okay, well, I want immediate gratification. I want to just sample it. You know what I mean? So they'll buy the one book and get the immediate. And then if they like reading it, they will buy it. Like a few people have bought, like when they found me for the chapter 2 campaign, they went and bought the first book, because you can get this Hero of the Cleansing 72-page graphic novel for $20, and that includes being shipped if you're in the United States. So
That's good.
It's a fantastic price, especially for this community. So people have bought that just to sample what's going on. Right. And CaptainLove.com actually has all of the everything linked to it there as well. Yes. Which is, I'm glad you showed that. So so whatever it is you're trying to do here, I got your fix. You know what I mean? If you want an immediate gratification on a book, I got that for you. If you want to get everything and have a package deal, I got that for you. If you want the posters, shirts, and books, if you want to support Captain Love hardcore and get a little bit of everything, here you can get everything. You can get all the posters, all the t-shirts, and all the books right here for a very reasonable price. Very reasonable price considering what you're getting for that money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you just want, like, say I want just 3 posters, but I don't want any of the ones that you pre-selected as packages, I do have a custom poster package here where you can pick any posters that you want. You can have the same poster 3 times if you want. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Now, Drew, did when you first started out, was George Peter Gatsis, or was he? Because I know you guys know each other. Was he helpful in orienting you, or?
Actually, I was pretty much already going forward when I met George.
Okay.
So George. Now George has done some cool stuff for me though. So like speaking of George, let me
like what, for example?
Well, I gotta have to change my screen share here. So I'm gonna stop sharing this screen and I'm gonna share something else, but you're gonna have to jump over with that. Let's see here. Boom. All right. You got.
And for those of you, for those of you guys who don't know, the reason I'll talk a lot about George is because George has been a co-host for us for a long time, and not lately, but yeah.
Yeah. So George did this.
Oh.
Nice.
This is the hauler. This is Captain Love's hauler, 3D modeled. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta ask you the big question. Is George has George printed out one on his 3D printers?
He is waiting for his new 3D printers to come. So and then he will print one out and I will have one. He said
That's cool.
that like I'm hoping that I have a 3D printed model in hand when I go to the convention in December, which is the middle of December, right? Because I would love to have a 3D printed hauler sitting on my table, because that would be like a magnet for attention, you know. So
absolutely, wow. And I can see you can even include that, like include these haulers down the road. You can include them in the big packages you have.
Well, yeah. Once I have an idea of what it's going to cost and what sizes we can do that makes sense and that kind of stuff, then I will actually have them up for sale as figurines. You know what I mean?
So let me just walk us through the process. So did you give George input, and or did he design this?
I drove him crazy. I drove him absolutely batshit. I gave him a bunch of imagery to start with. And and basically he did a really good job off of that. And then I was all like, okay, now we got to tweak it because, you know, there's like slack in the concept imagery art that I gave him. You know what I mean? Like there was holes in the concepts, and I had to like, you know, plug those holes because the illustrator I had did not draw the hauler the same in every image. It was slightly different from image to image. So we had to merge all those things, and it was difficult for me to communicate what I wanted him to do. So basically I drove him nuts getting that information to him. And then once we got it, we're good, you know. So
Cool. Wow. And George Peter Gatsis does something really fascinating, that he can take the concept to a drawing, to a cartoon, to an animated, and then he can even print out the toy,
right,
with the model.
I've been begging him to get it to a point where we can actually do an animation, because obviously I guess the animation in the 3D stage is the same. You know what I mean? Like once you're there, you're there, and he's got a little bit of cleanup work to do or whatever. And then.
So he's going to do a trailer for you?
I want a series of like Star Trek flybys. You know what I mean? So that I can just like have like, you know, like love to the rescue, and then have it like just this hauler fly by. You know what I mean? Just
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's
now. Do you ever, when you go? I know we've had the whole COVID thing, but is your intention ever to have somebody like the guy right under you, Philip O'Reilly, dress up as a professional actor, dress up as Captain Love with you at the convention?
Actually, at some point when I can afford things like that, yeah, you know what I mean. I intend to have people dressed up and as cosplaying my characters and helping spread the word. But right now, I'm on a real tight budget. I mean, with the COVID lockdown and all that kind of stuff, one of my biggest clients cut back. You know what I mean, and a few other clients just, you know, a few other clients went out of business. And then a couple of clients just, you know, they basically stopped their marketing money. So I was all like, you know, I was like, okay, I'm not going to shut your websites down. I'll just keep your websites up. You guys, you know, when you're, you know, which I thought was just going to be a couple months, which has now been like 7 months. You know what I mean? 8 months. But, you know, I figure that, you know, everybody will be more loyal after it's all over with. But yeah, my money's been cut back more than half. Which is really, 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 really painful. So it makes it even more special that I need everybody to back Captain Love, because, you know, you are helping me pull the series forward, and it's even more painful for me to do it out of pocket. So it's like the more backing. I guess that's why I'm like, I was really hoping that it would be further along by this point. You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm at the point now, like right now with the figures, I have enough money to print it to the number I need printed. I have enough money to, you know, to pay for the next chapter as far as fund wise. So it's just at the very sustaining point. You know what I mean? But I still have debt that collects interest on my credit cards that I'm not. So like I'm still losing at this point when you think of the big picture. You know what I mean? But I have enough money to move it forward. I had enough money to move it forward because the chapter 2 is already finished. I mean, I had it finished before I start the campaign. This way I do it. These books are done before the campaign starts. So all I need to do is have enough money to make sure that I can fulfill the printing. You know,
I want to urge everybody who's watching us now and watching us on the replay to you know, reach out to support both of these gentlemen. And I'm putting up the Indiegogo, Captain Love Indiegogo link here again. And listen, I mean, we've all been, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of us have been unsatisfied with a lot of the quality of the sci-fi we've been getting from our historic beloved franchises as of late in the last few years. And maybe it's time to support, you know, new talent. So I urge everybody to do that.
I have not had a disappointed customer. The quality of the books, the quality of the writing, the quality of the artwork, you will not be disappointed. Captain Love is a little bit adult. You know, it's not porn. It's not even soft porn, but it is not for children. You know what I mean? It's very violent. a lot of heavy drinking, a lot of bad habits, and a little bit of sex and some titties. So,
Woo!
I appreciate it. I've seen some
How to get
Indiegogos where the people that put on the campaign don't have a product for you. You have to wait.
Yeah.
And for you just to have that instant turnaround, that's not common, and it's very much appreciated.
Yeah, it is less common. There are a couple other creators that do that, not a lot, just a couple. But obviously that's because most people are having their books crowdfunded. You know what I mean? And then after they pull in the money, they're going to make the book. And then you got to wait, and then for a 48-page book, you're waiting like 6 months to a year. You know what I mean? Or maybe sometimes less, but they're doing like, 48 pagers, 50 pagers. For me, when I put it into a graphic novel format, if I'm going to perfect bound that thing, I want it to be a nice, healthy story arc. I felt my 72-page graphic novel was too thin, because I go to a comic book store, right? And you look at the smallest ones they have there are like 120. You know what I mean? They may have a 160-pager in there. You know what I mean? But I mean, they're usually 120 and bigger. So it's like, for me, I'm like, okay, I need these to be 144 pages or bigger when I put them perfect bound. So that's six chapters at the 24-page arc to get the minimum. So I write based on those story arcs, right? So I base everything on 24 pages, and then if I feel I want to extend the story, I give myself room so I can add another 8 pages in there if I need to. So.
Drew, do you want to show us a little bit more art while you have your
I would love to, but it is 7 o'clock Eastern, and I actually have to jump onto another stream so I can try and sell more books. It's one of those things. This is actually one of those nightmare stream days for me, where I'm gonna have like I started this stream, and I'm going to be streaming straight through for like 6 hours plus. So
where you go? That's Thursdays for me.
Yeah, where you headed, Drew?
Man.
I'm going to the guys that make the Kovar, How to Draw Comics guys, the Barton Brothers. That's where I'm headed.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Dude, the art in your comics looks great, and the campaign looks gorgeous. Good stuff, man. I don't know.
Singing isn't even half bad.
It's a unique style. I like the style. It's unique. It really speaks highly of your idea. I like the idea. It's really cool.
Thank you. There's a lot of like really original ideas in it. Like the character Spade. You know what I mean? She's actually living software, right? So she actually has the ability to hack any open network that might exist. Right. But at the same time, she can actually exist in that network after the fact. So she will be like, for instance, she lives in Love's head because he has an audio and optical implant and ran by a computer. So she lives in his head, but she also lives in the hauler because it's computer. Took that over as well. Right. So any computer she takes over, she can leave herself behind. And then when she's out of network, she's almost as if she's the two separate entities. And then as soon as she is in contact with herself, she syncs back up and becomes a singular entity. So
that's dope. Like changelings in Deep Space Nine.
Kind of, yeah.
The drop becomes the ocean. The ocean becomes the drop.
Right. Very much so. But living software, all with the same personality and same identity, and yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah,
that's really cool, man.
Crazy.
Well, listen, Drew, if you got to go.
I do have to go. I need to. And I want to say thank you so much for having me on, PJ. I hate that I have to jump early. I thought we would have ended up early. But and thank you so much for having me on. And everybody, please back Captain Love. I will appreciate it. And everybody who backs Captain Love helps me move the series forward. And I never forget anybody. Every backer is important to me. Every single one of you. And I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
No problem. You got my Canadian bucks.
Man, it was great meeting you.
Thank you. I love Canadian dollars. Bye.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it looks like wow, he's really come a long way. Wow.
Yeah, his campaign looks great. I love the song Captain Love to the rescue.
I think we all have that buzzing in our
I
head.
think we do. And now I have it in my head again.
Awesome. Now, when did you go public exactly, Kai? Like what, a month ago? 2 months ago?
October 1st.
October 1st.
Yeah, on Amazon it says August 14th or something, because that's when I first submitted and got it approved and was like, okay, cool. So it's approved and I can go live when it's time. And so I set it back to draft, but I still don't exactly understand how that all works, because people were like, yeah, that's why people usually put it on pre-sale, so that then it just goes live when it's time. And I said, how does that work? Where's the pre-sale button? And so I just relied on the submitting and it going live whenever it went live that day.
Okay, wow. Do you want to just go through maybe real quick, before we wrap up? Do you want to go through some of the characters? Do you want to just go through 3 or 4 of them?
Sure.
Unless you feel it's. I think it's nice to share a little bit.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I mentioned, I think 5 characters on the back cover there. Mike. We learn about him throughout the course of the story, his past and everything. He's the captain of this ship we see there, the Ulfbert, and he's got together a pretty elite crew to help him rescue his daughter. Early on in the book, we meet him, or he meets Natalie and Will. Natalie is they're both Mike's an Alpha. Natalie and Will are deltas, I think. Gamma, delta. I don't remember. Beta. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. They're way lower here. But yeah, they encounter them in a bit of a hairy situation, so they end up taking them on their ship with them. Natalie has a knack for machines and machinery. She loves cars and spaceships. She's like a super nerd for all that. Will plays soccer, and he has a knack for not a knack for, but he's good with computers and programming and stuff. So he hacks people's phones for them so that they can get around certain security things in the future that allow the government and your parents and stuff to monitor you and your activity. Can
you tell us again what the date was, Kai? What approximately?
Of the setting. 2184. Okay. So it's about 160 years in the future. 2184. It starts in June. I think at the end of June or July. Yeah, I think it starts in July, and then the book wraps up in December of 2184.
Cool. Wow. So when do you see yourself starting on the second book?
Once I have all the stuff figured out for this and I've got it moving and because I still have, I still need to what's it called? Format the ebook. I still have other, I want to get it into different territories, and I need to mail a copy out to Library of Congress so I can get my LCCN, get into libraries and stores and whatnot. So I still have footwork to do for this one. Once I'm done with that, I've already started, with the map, I've already started preparing for the things I need to figure out. But hopefully early next year, I'll start actually writing things down and figuring out what I'm doing.
Oops. Okay.
But yeah, I have a lot of logistics to figure out for next book.
Awesome. Do you gentlemen have any questions before we wrap up?
I think I'm good here.
I'm good.
This was fun. I appreciate it, Kai.
Yeah, this was great. It was nice. I think this is our first time streaming together, right, Adiga?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. It's nice meeting you.
You too.
This would be my like 4th time ever streaming. So hey, that's pretty awesome. I'm glad to be a part of your
PJ.
book tour, Kai. It's been amazing watching you do all these live streams and talk about your book, and I'm just so amazed that you took your creative license and just put it out there. That's awesome. Well done.
Thank you. It wasn't easy to put it out there, but I kind of warmed myself up to it. So, but yeah, thank you very much.
It takes a lot to take that big step. That's a huge step, man, and I'm quite impressed.
Thank you very much.
Lord Thoth, do you have a channel?
No, not yet. You'd be surprised at how many people ask me about that, and I've been thinking about it. My wife is actually Lady Ma'at there. She's been trying to get me to do up some stuff because I have a lot of opinions. I just haven't used my creative license to create a channel yet, but I've been really thinking about it.
Gotcha.
My occupation makes it difficult because I can't go on camera, and I'm kind of bending the rules a little bit going verbally on, but I'm close to retirement, so I can kind of bend the rules a little bit. That's why.
Okay.
How long are you retired?
Well, I've got let's see, 23 and a half plus 7. So I've got 23 and a half RCMP and about 7 Air Force time. So I'm about 30 years, so I can retire anytime I want, but I just, I like being doing what I'm doing and helping people the best way I can, and so we'll see.
You're a hero.
Pleasure to have you on, Lord Thoth.
Well, thanks, guys.
It's a pleasure to actually meet you in voice and hang out for a little bit.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. It's been something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I finally got the cojones to get out there. And I have to do a shout out to Jake D and Nerdrotic and Joomcock and of course, well, Kai, even you, Orville Nation, thank you, and a lot of the guys out there who've been Latino Slant too. Gee, I almost forgot him, but they've been saying, hey, come on and we'll chat, and that's all the fun, and it's addictive as heck, just getting on here and talking, and I'll stop because I'll keep going.
Well, you're always welcome, Lord Thoth.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And I'm glad we could meet this way.
Thank you.
Dega, do you want to tell us real quick? This is Dega's YouTube channel. Do you want to tell us what you're up to?
Yeah, I am. Well, we're editing for the Blood Witch, the fantasy novel. Everything with Evolution, my sci-fi it's all in with the publisher, so it's just a matter of timing. So going from independent to convention or traditional publishing, they saw me, they liked me, wanted my stuff. So it's been fun learning, and fortunately I'm with a group that is for the most part not restrictive like you had dealt with there, Kai. They're I could bring in my own artwork, my ideas. Granted, there's parts of editing where, if you're asleep, you're stupid, and you did something wrong and you never caught it. It's good to have an editor that helps clean that up. But overall, there's a lot that I'm doing behind the scenes, to try and keep up. It's, because I was retired, because of my health, I was sitting at home and just writing on the side, and now I have obligations. It's flattering, but it's busy. It's busy, so it's fun too.
Yeah, wow. This is you're on quite a ride, my friend, since you started this journey.
Yeah, yeah, because you were right there at the very beginning when I first got that thing out before anything else, and then you introduced me to one of the biggest blessings, even though we don't talk very much, was meeting George and having his opinion on my work. That from George alone is probably, and then plus my two of my beta readers who I trust very much.
Yeah, George should teach a masterclass on getting up and running.
Right, but it's just his opinion on my writing.
Oh, okay.
Because unlike Kai, he's out there, boom, 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 just knocking down doors, rolling, me, I was always self-conscious because I never pictured myself as being an author. It was always, I was a doctor, and before that I was a musician, and I worked at it. So it's been fun, and it's very flattering.
And I want to ask Philip. Philip, I cannot, for the life of me, find your channel. Can you put it into the chat?
Sure.
And while you do that, I'm going to show how responsible Philip is when he goes shopping at the supermarket. He goes out in full biohazard gear.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Probably a little overkill, but
That's funny. That's funny.
That was for the TV show Code Black, and was like a viral emergency situation. So it's eerily similar to what's going on that episode.
Someone really messed up that bathroom.
you have a wrench, right, Philip?
Yeah, I put it in right now.
Okay.
Yeah, the link I put in, I'm Philip Gaming on the chat. The link I put in, that's to go to my channel sub if you want to see my content. My last 3 videos that I posted are on my background actor stories, where they're 5-minute videos where I talk about some experiences I had on set as a background actor, where I met various actors and celebrities and things that go on.
Yeah, you've shown us a couple of times your pictures with Patrick Stewart, for example. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I had a conversation with him, and he's a really cool guy.
Yeah. And now, Kai, just really quick before we go, KMF, are those like your real initials, or
No.
or is that just Kai makes fun of stuff? I'm sorry, makes fun stuff.
Kai makes fun of stuff.
That's right.
That should be a show that I do. Kai makes fun of stuff, just like totally ordinary things. I just talk trash. No, Kai is my real name, but then the MFS is just for fun to use for like makes fun stuff on what's it called? When I play Fortnite and Mohawks from Space.
That's right.
And so I have fun with it.
Yeah. I'm going to put in your channel real quick. And
I started like I would watch videos that are marketing videos like this is how you build a following and do these things, and you should probably start a YouTube channel. It's a great way people see your face, get to know you, etc. And I was like, what the hell am I gonna start a channel about? Like, I'm a not writer writing. I came from art and design and stuff. I don't have a book out to be like, well, this is how I did things, and you can see here where I did it. I didn't have any of that. But when the lockdown hit, I'm an extrovert. I'm like a 92% extrovert according to the Myers-Briggs. I needed social time. And so I designed a game to play on Sundays with people. So now I get to hang out with people for 3 hours or so every Sunday, and I spend time chatting with people I haven't talked to in a while, seeing if they want to play and jump on and whatnot. New friends I've made here in the community. So yeah, if y'all are looking for some trivia, I do that on Sundays.
now, did you know Latino Slant before you guys went with your YouTube channels?
No, I think so. Paulie said that he had seen me in, John Talks. He'd seen me in a few chats, but I was really active in John Talks chat, and John Talks would talk back. He's really good about chatting with everyone, and
yeah, he is.
So he said he noticed me there, and that's where I got his attention. And I don't remember who was on whose show first, or who invited who first, but if I invited him, then he invited me right back, and vice versa, onto each other's shows. And so he played my game one time, and then I thought I was just going to be on his show one time on a Thursday, and then he had me back every week after that. So
Paulie's like that addictive personality. He ropes you in.
Oh, I know. And he does it with a smooth talking style too, eh?
Like cool hat. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Paulie's freaking great. I've got his cup right here. Let me take the pins out.
How you do?
Yeah, the cup with it's got my name on it.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
All right, there it goes. But this, I designed this what's it called? Thumbnail for him.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
I'll hold it back up.
Oh, that's really cool. Well done.
Nice.
that is cool.
Because he had like a part of it,
Hmm.
and then, but it wasn't. It was incomplete. And then when he showed me the thumbnail for the week that we were going to be on, he says, "Hey, here's the thumbnail. What do you think?" And coming from like 10 years of art and design, I was like, let me get back to you. And so I made him that.
I wish I had a tenth of that talent. My stick men are known throughout the world as the worst ever. So I love your Punisher shirt, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I want to say thanks to everybody, and I want to urge everybody who can support either one or both of these gentlemen to go ahead and do so. Captain Love and Space Crime and Domino Space Crime, Kai's and Drew's projects. They're both space pirate science fiction. Very, very cool. Diego, you got a space pirate in your novels?
No.
Oh no. Okay.
No.
I had to ask.
Kind of a renegade group, but they're not pirates at all. They eventually
Okay.
get recruited in the military.
Oh, interesting. All right, guys. Thank you so much to our panel, Philip, Lord Thoth, Adega, and our two guests, Kai and Drew. And thanks to everybody, Time Prophet, Purple Valkyrie, Live at the Love Shack. Let's see who else. Purple Valkyrie, Jack O'Neill. A lot of people have been in and out. Thank you, everybody who's been in here. LDG Pixels, everybody who's been in here. Thank you. You guys will have a great night. Stay safe and support these two guys. Go buy a book, buy a comic.
Thanks for having us, BJ. It's been great.
Cue the music. Is this the behind the curtain chat
We're
now?
not behind the curtain yet.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was like, is there outro music? Is it gonna?